Problem 4. Two jars each contain the same number of marbles, and every marble is either blue or green. In jar 1, the ratio of blue to green marbles is 9:1, and the ratio of blue to green marbles in jar 2 is 8:1. There are 95 green marbles in all. How many more blue marbles are in jar 1 than jar 2? Let's first collect all this information in a ratio table. So here I'll write jar 1 and jar 2 just to label the information, which jar we're referring to. And then I'll write combined. So combined. And then on the top, across the top, I'm going to add some more parameters. We are going to do blue marbles to green marbles to the total amount of marbles in each jar. And now we can collect our information. So we know the ratio of blue to green marbles in jar 1 is 9:1. I'll put this aside for now until we have the final determined number of marbles. But now we're going to work with the ratios. So we know the ratio of blue to green marbles in jar 1 is 9:1. And the same ratio, but in jar 2, is 8:1. And I also like writing out their total just because it's easier when we have to work with part to whole ratios. So one thing we'll notice is that the total amounts, blue to green to total, the total amount of marbles in here in the units, they're described with different numbers, although we do know that they contain the same number of marbles. So let's try finding a common multiple and make equivalent ratios so that the total numbers are both the same. They're both 90. So we can create equivalent ratios that are 81 to 9 to 90, and then we do 80 to 10 to 90. Here, as you can see, we have equivalent ratios with the total unit being the same. Now let's add both of these together. So we have 161 to 19 to 180. We also know that there are 95 green marbles in all. So that's where we could put this. Combined, there are 95 green marbles. But here, 95 corresponds to 19 as a unit. So 95 divided by 19 is equal to 5. That means that one unit here represents 5 marbles. Therefore, we can convert the rest of these values by multiplying 5 to find out their actual value and what they represent. So 81 times 5 is 405. 9 times 5 is 45. The total 90 times 5 would become 450. Now we do the same for all these other values. Now, since this is combined, we can just add both of these. And that gives us 900 as a total. Now, this is all the information we need. What do we need to answer for the question? How many more blue marbles are in jar 1 than jar 2? Let's find the values we are comparing. The blue marbles in jar 1 and the blue marbles in jar 2. 405 is greater than 400 by 5. So there are 5 more blue marbles in jar 1 than jar 2.